Okay, you can definitely add that in. Okay. And even this one is a little more pinkish purple, probably a little bit more lighter. Okay. Just have some fun with it. We're going to do like 2 more steps, and then we're going to jump down to the bottom. I'm going to wash off that purple. Now my drink is looking like a Grimace shake from McDonald's, right? Or a purple cow is better. That tastes better too. All right. All the artists are hard at work with their Christmas hats on and everything. I love to see it. If you aren't on video, come on video. We're having a good time. We'd love to see your faces. I know we're a little shorter on our time today, but we will still try to do a quick preview, or we'll just wait to the end just because of time. So a couple of more steps here. The teal and the yellow, right? So the easiest thing to do once the brush is clean from the purple and pink, whatever, you're finished with that step, is to just take a little bit of yellow and white. You don't want to use yellow by itself because it's very transparent. So a little bit of white with the yellow will kind of help the transparency and give you more of a glowy color. Okay. So I got that mixed in. And just like I did with the pink, I'm just kind of like sneak in a little bit of yellow. Okay, I'm doing this from the bottom though now. I don't want to do it from the top. I want to do it more from the bottom going up. So the yellow, instead of going down, I'm going to go from the line and go up now. And then we're just going to kind of like just have some fun. Don't have too much paint on the brush when you're doing this so it can kind of like fade out, right? Because these are going to be behind the trees we're going to do. So just build them in however you like, whatever color you like the best. There's a little yellow coming through now. And then to get that greenish teal color, you could take the yellow on your brush and dip it a little bit in that light blue that you have if you still have some left over. If not, you can just mix some yellow, blue, and white together. And you get a little bit of this greenish teal color. And you can kind of just overlay that from the side and from the top a little bit. It looks close to the yellow. You could add more blue if you want to darken it. Okay. I'm going to repeat that again. So what we're doing now is going for the teal and the yellow. Best thing you want to do is start with the yellow first. Get that on your brush. Build in the yellow from the bottom up. So follow the curve, but follow it from the bottom. Okay. You got the yellow there. And then with the green, you keep the yellow and white on your brush. No need to wash the brush. Mix it with a little bit of blue, and you'll kind of get some greenish teal tones. And from the top, with a little bit of white, you can add a little bit of teal. I like teal, so I like to go crazy with it. But you can go lightly with it. By now, your blue is dry, that first layer. So you can actually just kind of blend it over some of the blue and blend it in. So the key, again, is less paint when you're blending it through. So it kind of just overlays. You don't want to have a lot of paint on this part. And if it doesn't work, a little bit of water is okay. Tiny bit of water on the tip of the brush, and it can help soften that blend for you. Okay? But again, you don't want to have enough where it soaks the paint, the canvas too much, because then it'll start to drip. Okay? But a little bit to help stretch the paint is okay. All right? So y'all are getting those skies pretty. I can see the preview on my side. If we go into group view, I can see a lot of you have your canvases in view. They look great so far, so keep going. All right, so I'm going to let Apollo take it away for like another 2 minutes. Let you guys finish those skies up. Okay. And don't worry too much about the bottom here. Like if you have some spaces, those are where your trees will go. But I would say try to fill it as much as possible because you don't know how many trees you're going to do. Okay. Now, while you're finishing that, if you're done with me, you can go ahead and wash off that large brush one more time. Remember to always hold the cup. Okay. And if you're still painting, keep going. Any questions, again, just put them in the chat. Always ask me. I can always repeat it, but I will always repeat it twice so everybody can see it. But welcome to anybody who came in a little late. My name is Erica, and we have DJ Apollo in the house playing some great tunes. If you guys have any requests, you can put them in the chat window for Apollo, and he will fulfill it as best as he can. All right. Our next step is pretty simple, a lot simpler than we've been doing. Oh, we got a first request there. That's some Peter Gabriel. Okay. Next two steps, a lot simple. We did the hardest of the work, right? The trees are even simple. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. The bottom is our ice, right? Simple enough. There is some color, but we're not worrying about that. The first is blue and white. So your brush, and if you're a little behind, don't feel overwhelmed. Keep going at your sky. I'm just going to show you what you'll jump right into when you're done. So we got this, and you can always go back in and add more color later, but as long as you get a good fundamental base, okay? I'm going to take a nice clean brush, dip it in some blue, and add a tiny bit of white to the brush. I'm not going to mix it because I'm going to mix it on the canvas. So blue and white on my brush, you can see the white and blue. And now I'm just going to fill in the art. I'm actually going to paint it like an art because you want the brush stroke to kind of follow the shape. And I'm going to take, so you want this to be dark, a little darker, not as light as the skies, a little deeper, a little bit more blue here than the white. But what the white does is give it the opacity, right? So the white kind of helps it look a little bit more frozen, a little bit more like ice. And you're going to take your brush and bring it right to that light blue line that we did before. So again, a little bit more blue here than white, but use a little bit of white to help it. For this step, I would try to avoid the water because we want it to look a little more solid. So just use a little bit more paint here and then just get that wrist and just use that whole side of the brush back and forth, back and forth. Get that in there. Pretty nice, pretty fast step. And then you can take a little bit of white and just overlap it. See, like on top, that kind of makes it look like ice a little bit. So one more time, we took our clean brush after we finished our sky, dipped it right in the blue, tiny bit of white, and you're filling in that whole bottom arc with the blue and a tiny bit of white. And you're going to fill it right to that line. And you can adjust it. You can fix it as you want to. Okay. After you fill it in with blue, dip the brush in a tiny bit of white and just go over it and get some streaks in there. And the streaks kind of help it look a little bit more cold and a little bit more like ice. See? Just like that. Okay. It even gives a little like a little bit of dimension now because we have the dark and the light. Do it side by side so you can kind of see where we're going. Looking good. Okay. Give you another minute or so. Finish that before I show the next step. As you're finishing that, I'm going to take the brush and wash it one more time. Now that is going to start looking like a blueberry shape. Clean it off. If you ever want to at any time, go change your water. You can, but you don't really need to. You only really clean it if we're going through a full color change. All right. Don't forget to take a sip of your drink. The holiday party, right? No dancing on the table, please. Okay. No, just kidding. Take a sip of your beverage. All right. I'm going to show the next step, which is the snow bake. Pretty simple, but let me explain it before we paint. Really quick. You're going to start with white. Now, if some of you did what I did, like we went past the line, you're going to easily cover this now. So don't worry about that too much. What we're going to do, though, if you look close, there's tones of blue, tones of purple, and even a little bit of gray, right? No yellow snow here, okay? Just all shades. So basically, it's reflecting the colors in your sky. So you have that purple mixed on your plate and a little bit of light blue, right? You know how to mix those two now. Once the white is in, you're going to dip your brush and blend it in a little bit with the white. So let's do it together now. We got this shape now. I'm going to hold my canvas here at the top. I'm not on an easel. This is still wet, so I don't want to mess that up. This is all dry now. It dries pretty fast. I'm going to take some white. Put a tiny bit of blue on your brush. And now I'm going to go over that line, that first line that I did, to cover the excess that I went past, right? And I'm just going to fill in the shape. Okay? Like it never happened. And now I'm just going to fill in some more white paint and fill in the whole area. But what I'm going to do, though, is with the white on my brush, like we did at the beginning, I'm going to add white, but you see there's a tiny bit of blue on my brush. What this is going to do is tone the snow. And I'm going to show you quickly. If you see how it's toned? It's white, but it has that little light blue tinge to it. Okay? And you're going to fill in the whole area. You can even go to a little bit of the purple that you had. You don't want a lot, though. A little bit of a tone is okay. So I'm going to fill in this whole shape. And now you can see the tone. You see there's a little bit of light blue, a little bit of purple, lavender coming through. Just fill in that whole snow bake. A little bit more white. Get that going. Okay. See a few requests came in. Okay. Okay. Now, if you got a little crazy with the blue, it happens. Just go over it with some more white to help lighten it. Okay, we're going to fill that whole bank in, and we are done. Okay. I got a little bit. I think I'm going to avoid. We'll do, let's see. We can come back in with some gray a little later. I'm not going to touch black right now. Now, what I like to do is because it's snow, right, and it's kind of a hill. So we got the shape fill in. How about painted black Rolling Stones in honor? No mess ups. Don't you know what Bob Ross said? No mistakes. Happy accident. That's a real thing, you know. At the top of the snowbank, what I like to do is take my brush, and you can kind of like, if you want to make it look a little more like natural, you can kind of tap to get rid of that straight line. And you just taking the same brush that you painted with and just tap a little bit and make it look a little more irregular. Do that really fast, kind of like that. And it looks still like the hill, but it looks a little more organic now. Okay? Put the brush in the water for a sec while you guys finish up. And we have a pretty nice base going. Okay? I'm going to give you guys another 2 minutes or so to finish that up so everybody can catch up. All right. Paulo's, I think, putting in some of those requests. I think we have about maybe 20 minutes left. So if you have a request, there's a couple of songs we can still get in. All right. Water bank is just about dry, if not already dry. Snow bank is drying. And yeah, we're gonna start those trees in a moment. So let's do a side by side. Explain the last steps we have left. Trees, which is probably gonna take the rest of the time. And then just some snow and sparkle in the sky and the snow in the tree. Now, what I like to do is give you guys options, right? So some people don't like the whole forest of trees. Some people like maybe 2 or 3 trees. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do one, and I'm going to let you guys decide how you want to fill it in. And I say that mostly because when people start, they're like, oh, I liked it better when I did 1 or 2. I taught this painting a while ago. So I like to show it. It looks great as a full set. Notice there's some in the back that are smaller, further the distance. But somebody did 1 large tree and it looked beautiful. So it's really a matter of your taste, right? You might want something a little more simplified. So I always say start with the first tree, maybe add 2 trees and kind of see how you like it, okay? If you want to go the full way, once you know how to do 1 tree, all you're going to do is fill it up. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, about 10 trees. The little ones take less than 20 seconds to do. So it's a very easy process, okay? Now, I like to do the trees with the brush that we've been working with, which is, this is about a 1/2 inch size brush, right? This is like the best brush ever. You can do large things with it. You can do small things with it. If you want your trees a little more delicate, you can use a round brush. You can do the same effect. I'm going to show you how to do the trees with both brushes, and then let you decide, right? So most of us have seen or know who Bob Ross is. We've seen him just do these trees like he's sleeping, right? So today you will learn that. If you've ever wanted to learn how to do it, I'm not using the same brush as him. He uses a 2-inch, almost like a brush you paint your walls with. But the effect is the same because this is going to be with a square brush. The trees are in black, mostly because it's shadowed out. It is nighttime. Some people like to do their trees in green. You can decide to do them in green. You can mix a little yellow and blue. But black works better for the tone of the painting. Okay? Now, we're here. Okay, we're going to jump right into them. I'm going to demonstrate the tree right on it. So I say you want to watch me do one first, and then you jump into it. Now, instead of just scooping paint, you want to be a little more careful. You're going to dip your brush in the black, but you don't want to have this glob, right? So on the end of your plate or side, you're going to press down on both sides, kind of like 2 times. And now you have this nice kind of like smoothness on the brush, right? It looks going to make a nice line. First thing you're going to do is create your trunk. The line right there in the middle. So I'm going to start on the end here with the tall tree. You see that's about half of the size of the top. Got still some sky left and tree. Eyeball it, and you're going to start here and go straight down. It doesn't have to be super straight. It's a tree trunk. You're going to use this edge of the brush that's this way. And there's your trunk. I'm actually going to make the one next to it. Give a little space, just so you can map out. I'm going to just do 2 at first. And some people actually like to do like 1 or 2, and then maybe they build a snowman over here, right? Again, have fun with the painting. Don't take it too serious. But I will complete it like this. All right. So the brush is loaded with paint. We got our line. I want you to think of a triangle. Christmas trees are triangle shaped, right? So the easiest way to do this is to kind of do a zigzag, and it gets bigger and bigger. Watch me do it. So I'm going to take the brush. I'm not going to do it straight. I'm going to bend it like this. So the canvas will touch You see how it won't be like this, it'll be like this. And from the top, I'm just going to tap to get to the top of the tree. And then see, I'm going to zigzag it out. Just watch. And as I get to the middle of the tree, I'm going to bring it out more. And then get bigger and bigger. And you kind of like drag it till you get to the bottom. You're like, well, that tree doesn't look like the one in the painting. It's going to get there. But you can see the shape of the tree, right? Get small to top. Just do a zigzag. Even if you don't do it like this, let me show you another way. If you do the line and just do the zigzag as a line, you have the shape. You want to get the shape. Small at the top, wider at the bottom. Once you have that, then you just go in and tap. Watch. Now I'm just going to go in and tap in those empty gaps. Same way. Turn the brush around. If you lose paint, just get more. And you're just kind of like tap, 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 tap. But again, not straight, like kind of 45-degree angle. Tap it in. And the more you fill in those gaps, bring it right to the snowbank. And your tree is done. Now, what's beautiful about this is it's in the distance, right? So it's not meant to look perfect. Trees are not perfect. So you might have one a little heavier, a little skinnier on one side. It still looks nice and full. Now, the zigzag that we did over there, you're like, well, how are you going to turn that into that? Same thing. Just tap. Turn the brush this way and just tap over those lines, but follow the shape. Because we want to tap within that shape. So just tap the brush within the zigzag. Don't go past. And then as you get to the bottom, it starts coming out more. Load your brush up with some more paint. Tap away. And bring it right to the snowbank. And you're good to go. So see, your tree can be a little fatter, a little slimmer. Like it can be wider, smaller, skinnier, taller, just as long as you have the triangular shape. Okay. So do a few, try one or two. If you're not sure, I always tell people try on the back of your canvas first. You can just easily take your canvas like this, do the zigzag I told you, and just get bigger as you go to the bottom, right? And then tap. I like to be repetitive so you guys can really see it. And the tapping is what gives you the branches, right? That gives you the look. Just take your brush, cover the zigzag, and when you do it good enough, you don't even see the zigzag. You might see a little line, but you could just tap over it. Okay? So practice on the back if you need to before you paint, because the black is a little hard to fix, right? Okay, so you go back to the front. So again, you can do that. You can make them a little slimmer if you don't like them as full as this. You can make them a little slimmer. And then the ones that are smaller, so I'm going to do, maybe you just do like another line. Do the line so you can like know as you get to the center, they should go smaller. Now I'm going to show you how to do them with the smaller brush. Now this one, because it's close, I'm not going to see the full tree. I might just see like 3/4 of it. I'm going to switch brushes for a second. I'm going to use the small round brush. Okay. And for the little ones in the center, you can draw the line. Same thing, draw the zigzag. The zigzag helps a lot because sometimes if you do it freestyle tapping, you like make it too skinny. You have a guideline right there. Okay. Take the small brush. You're going to use the side of the small brush and the tip of it and do the same thing. Tap, tap, tap in that shape. And this brush seat gives you the same effect as the bigger brush did. But we're just making the tree a little smaller. You do lose paint on the small brush quicker. And then just tap the top to get the peak of the tree. And there is your small tree, right? So have fun with it, all right? For like the next, we have about 10 minutes left, so we're just going to be working on the trees, build them in. The snow will be a quick effect that we'll do at the end. So if we get those in pretty quickly, I'm going to jump back to my larger brush because it is faster with the larger brush. But use the smaller brush for the little smaller trees. You can definitely decide, like, yeah, I think I'm gonna do what she said. I'm gonna do like 1 or 2 trees and kind of keep it simple. Or you might want to go crazy. So let's keep going. I'm gonna finish it here. Zigzag it again. So I have the shape. And some of your trees will overlap. It's supposed to happen like that because it's like a forest, right? I'm just gonna be repetitive and keep doing it. So you can keep seeing it done. You see, I'm just tapping in the zigzag, tapping the zigzag. And just create some nice organic shapes. Change the brush, different sides to fill it in. And now you got 2 trees together there. Okay. I'm gonna do the one over here. Same thing, zigzag it. Now this one is gonna get lost because it's like half cut off, but I'm still gonna follow it and tapping it. Just add a little more paint to your brush as you need to. Whoa, got some nice harmonies going there. Nice harmonies to go with your tree making. All right. I think Mr. Ross would be very proud of these trees we're creating today. Okay, and you want to have some gaps. You see how I have these gaps of space? You don't want it fully black. You know, if you have your tree at home or you see a tree outside, you can kind of see through it sometimes. That actually adds a nice layer to the painting that you actually can see the northern lights through the tree. You might cover some colors like over here. See, I covered my yellow with the tree, but I can still see a little yellow behind the tree through some of the tapping I did. And that gives a nice effect. And if I want to, at any time, I could go back in. Okay. I got 2 more trees I'm going to do. I'm going to whip those up real quick. Okay. We got about 7 minutes left. We got a little time still to get this. Do the zigzag again. Zigzag again. You can do the zigzag to map out what you're doing and then just tap quickly. Tap, 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 tap. You'll notice again, not straight, on an angle. And you kind of want them all to look a little different. You don't want them looking all the same, really. Build them in. Okay. Now you'll see a little difference from this version where I did all of them. There is a little gap. I'm actually just going to leave it more so for time's sake, but also because every painting I do, every version is a little different. So I like to have the different versions. Just make sure if you don't have the tap, you want to make sure you have the peak, right? That's really nice for the evergreen trees is to have that little like peak. So take your small brush if you need to and just go in and tap it and give it that little like pointy peak because that really makes the tree come like wow. You can take a small brush and you can fill it in wherever you're not happy at. Okay. Give you guys like another minute or so. With that, take more time if you need to. I think you guys kind of have the trees down packed by now. Remember, just zigzag the shape. Just make sure it looks like a bell or like a triangle, and then just tap that brush and get those bristles in place. Now, with the time left, while you guys are finishing that, I'm going to wash both of these brushes really fast. We're going to do the snow on the trees, but we got to let that black dry. So while that's drying, I'm going to take the small brush. And if you're still doing your trees, no worries. You guys can finish this afterwards as well. I just want to be able to show you the step before we're at the end. What I like to do for the snow and the stars is actually not use this part of the brush. I like to use the end of the brush. The reason why all our brushes, like you might press down too heavy, it'll look more like an asteroid versus a star, right? Which is cool too. You could do a cool, but if you want to get like these stars and stuff, you could use the brush for that. But for the snow and everything, I like to use the end of the brush. It looks more like a twinkling. If you add a lot of them, it will look more like snow. If you do a few, it will look more like stars. So you can make that distinction. Take the end of the brush, the handle, dip it in some white. And then you just lightly tap it out. Just wherever you like to have a little bit of star or some snow. Again, if you just do a few of these, it will look like stars. Or it can look like the beginning. See, it looks very pretty, right? If I did it with my brush, I would have to like really get it super perfect. But the end of it, I can just tap it quickly and move on to another one. And you have start to get a really nice sprinkling and a nice just kind of pop them around wherever you like. And then you do a few at the bottom too, you know, for reflection. The water is going to take on, you know, whatever's at the top. So do the same thing at the bottom. Sprinkle a few in. And you see, you don't need a lot, just a few, little twinkling. Take your napkin, you're going to wash the hand, just wipe off the paint. You don't need to wash it. For the stars, you're just going to do what looks like an asterisk, literally one long line, and then the other lines are all shorter. So just think of an asterisk, but the line in the vertical line is the longest line. And that's what makes it look more like a North Star or like celestial stars versus just like an asterisk in the sky. For this though, use the end of this brush, dip it in the white, and like rotate the brush. By rotating it, sorry, it wasn't in view. Dip it in the white and rotate that brush on the plate. And then now that gives you a nice point. Use your pinky to balance and just draw a long line. You want to press very light. Don't press hard. And then just kind of build out an asterisk. You see how that first line is longer? That gives it more of a star look. 2 or 3 of these is okay. You don't need to go crazy, but it's your painting. If you want to go crazy, go crazy. All right. And I'm going to do one more here. And because of the water, I'm just going to reflect a little bit. Same thing where they're here. And now since we have the white, then you're going to go over your trees really fast to start adding in some snow. You don't need to add as much paint as the black. You're going to start where you started first and just kind of jump around and get some snow on those trees. Again, you see how I'm jumping around. I'm not doing every leaf, just to show some snow is on there. Use a small brush for this step, even if the tree is a bigger tree. The small brush is the best because you can just kind of jump in quickly and get some snow on there. See? Comes together really nice. Okay. All right, that's our end song. Perfect timing as we finish up this beautiful snow. Good timing, Apollo. Good timing, sir. So we are coming close to the end of our session. So we got about, I think, 2 more minutes or so. So go ahead and get some snow on those trees. And then we're going to do a share. So if you are on video, even if you're not fully finished and you want to add more, we're going to take a screenshot for you guys so you guys can have a picture of the session today. But I had an amazing time showing you guys this. Excited to see your work. See, got a little heavier over here, but that's okay. I can jump in on this side and get a little more, right? Maybe these trees dumped out. Maybe there's a wind tunnel. Those don't have as much. Okay. And you see, I'm doing this super quick. Just like that. Okay. Some extra things while you're finishing up. You know, you can add a little color. Show the stars again. No problem. Small brush. Nice and clean. Right? You're going to dip it in the white. But you don't want to have a glob of paint. That's too much paint. So take it and press it down on the plate and rotate the brush. You get a nice point like that now. The star is an asterisk, like a computer asterisk, right? Straight, boom, boom, like a pizza pie, like how you cut a pizza pie. So the only difference is the line that goes vertical is the longest line. That makes it look more like a star. So you're going to draw, like you're writing it, a nice long line, but press lightly with the brush. If you press heavy, you're going to get a very thick line. Don't want that. Then you're going to go in the middle, and then left and right, and there's your star. But press very delicate, very light. Use your pinky on the canvas to help you balance. It does help. And then you just do 2 or 3 of those and then match them in the water as well. Okay? All right, so I know we are at time, so we have enough time to show a photo of you guys. If you guys would like to, we're going to go into group view, and we're going to take a screenshot of everybody's painting. Make sure you sign your painting so your coworker doesn't try to steal it from you, right? But you can go back in if you're like, hey, I want to pump up some yellow. You know the steps. You can actually go in and edit it. But we have our gorgeous Northern Lights winter landscape. I see some of the trees already, so great job, everybody. So we're going to go into group view now. So we can, oh, we have some rogue artists. I see a snowman. I see somebody painted it in landscape. Nice job. Come on screen if you can. Yeah, we're going to do a little beauty. We're going to do a view really quick. Very nice. Look at these trees, guys. Wow. Ooh, the skies are gorgeous. Good blending. Nice job, everybody. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I wave to you back. I see you. Beautiful lights. Oh, the northern lights look amazing. Great job on that. Wow, we spent some time on that. That's like the star of the painting, right? We're going to do a big smile for the holidays. We're going to take a group shot. Please come on camera if we are. I know we're a big group. We'll do multiple shots if we can. This is just a before. Apollo, make sure you smile nice, sir. Big smiles. All right. Yeah, come on screen if you can. Please, love to see your faces and your paintings. Yes. All right. See a few more people. We're going to take a few more shots. Big smiles, big smiles. All right. We got the screen share. So give yourself a round of applause. Great job, everybody. And I hope you guys had a great time. Again, my name is Erica on behalf of Paint and Sip Live. Please add us on all our socials, Paint and Sip Live, and you can tag us in your work. Also, shout out to DJ Apollo for providing our musical tunes today. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys have a great holiday season and a happy new year, and hope to see you soon. Take care.